Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing that petrol prices have risen suddenly. Your flight tickets suddenly cost more, gold is hitting record highs, and shipping companies are charging more than ever. And inflation is quietly making everything from groceries to electricity more expensive. Now here's the strange part. None of this started in your country. It started thousands of kilometers away, near Oman and Iraq, in the Strait of Hormuz. So, how does this affect our country, India? Well, the answer is one word: oil. Let's break this down. When people think about the Middle East, they think about deserts, religion, or conflict. Economists think about something else. Energy!
The Middle East contains some of the world's largest proven crude oil and natural gas supply. Countries like Kuwait, Bahrain, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar supply energy to countries like China for factories, India for industries, Europe for cars, and America for airlines. But the story isn't just where the oil comes from, it is how the oil leaves. Almost all of these exports pass through one tiny waterway called the Strait of Hormuz. At its narrowest point, the Strait of Hormuz is only a few dozen kilometers wide, and 1/5 of the entire world's oil trade passes through this every single day.
Think of it as the world's most important highway for energy. If there's traffic in a highway, everything is delayed. If there's traffic in the Strait of Hormuz, every economy feels it. That is why every missile in this region leads to international news.
Now imagine you're an oil trader. You hear reports that the Strait of Hormuz is gonna shut. You don't wait for the route to actually close. You assume supplies could become scarce tomorrow. So you start buying more oil today. Thousands of traders think alike. Suddenly the demand increases even though the amount of production of oil hasn't increased yet. This is known as a supply shock, or more accurately, the expectation of one. Markets don't react to reality, they react to fear as well. As oil prices rise, transport becomes more expensive. Trucks cost more to operate, ships burn more expensive fuel, airlines pay more for jet fuel, factories spend more on electricity and production. Eventually, businesses pass on the higher costs to the consumers. And that's how a conflict thousands of kilometers away affects your goods in local supermarkets. That's inflation in action.
But wars don't just affect oil, they also affect confidence. When investors believe that the future has become uncertain, then they start moving away their investment from risky investments. Imagine you own shares in a company and sense that recession is coming. Then you would want to sell off those shares. When millions of investors think alike, then stock markets begin to fall. But money never disappears, it moves somewhere else.
Investors usually look for assets which are considered safer during times of war. Gold has played that role for several centuries because it is viewed as a store of value. The US dollar often strengthens because it remains the world's primary reserve currency. And government bonds, especially those of stable economies, become lucrative because investors prioritize safety over high returns. This result is a massive shift in global capital, triggered by not economies but by uncertainty. Even if ships continue sailing, war makes every journey more expensive. Shipping companies may need to avoid dangerous areas, forcing them to deviate to take longer routes that consume more fuel and more time. Insurance companies give premiums because the risk of attacks increases. Similarly, ports experience delays and freight charges rise.
And since almost everything we buy, from electronics to machines to medicine, travels by sea at some point, those higher shipping costs eventually find their way into the prices consumers pay. This is why economists say that modern wars don't lie on the battlefield, they spread through supply chain. For India, these global changes matter much more than many people realize.
India imports a large share of the crude oil it consumes. This means that higher international oil prices can directly affect the country's import bill. As more dollars are needed to buy oil, the pressure on the Indian rupee can increase. A weaker Indian rupee makes imports more expensive, creating another layer of inflation. Industries that depend on fuel, from transport to aviation to manufacturing and logistics, face higher operating costs. The government may also have to take difficult choices regarding fuel taxes, subsidies, fiscal policies, and defense spending if regional tensions continue. None of this means that India is powerless. It simply shows how deeply connected today's global economy has become.
A conflict in one region can influence inflation, trade, policy making all over the world, especially when it's in the Middle East. When we think about war, we usually think about soldiers, tanks, and missiles. But war can be fought in a whole new arena as well.
Through oil, trade, currencies, supply chains, and through economies.
That's how a war that has started in Middle East can create a ripple effect and disrupt the lives of millions of people who haven't even heard a missile strike yet. But one question remains. Will this conflict stay contained, or could it reshape the balance of global power itself? That's exactly what we shall explore in the final part of this series.